Today, on this first Sunday in Advent, we, the gathered people, would normally be at church. And on this particular day, like with churches and chapels and cathedrals all over the Christian community, people will light a candle, and it kind of signals the start of this Advent period. So I'm going to light a candle on our behalf today. The first candle is lit as a symbol of it begins. The story unfolds before us. And as we each make our journey toward the celebration of Christmas, every Sunday we will light a different candle and eventually on Christmas morning light the central candle, which is Christ, the light of the world, who comes to us. Today, Advent Sunday. So Advent begins. And as we set out on this journey this morning, I wondered if we could think for a moment of an experience of waiting. We're quite familiar over the last couple of months of waiting in queues, and we stand outside shops that are socially distant 2 meters. We heckle across the street, we wave as we see people passing by, and we're in the queue. We may be at the bus stop, the traffic lights, and we hold the steering wheel frantically tapping, waiting for it to go green. We may be pacing up and down thinking, well, how long is it going to be? How much longer do I have to wait? A couple of weeks ago, I was waiting in for a delivery. And unlike many of the delivery companies these days, they didn't give me an hour window. It just simply said, your parcel will be delivered sometime between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. So you face the prospect of waiting in all day, listening out for the door for somebody to come and drop off your parcel. And I waited and I waited and I waited until eventually sometime mid-afternoon the package arrived. Our experience and our reaction to waiting is different depending on our personality type. And as we wait, some of us will want to fill that time in. We'll look around, we'll get distracted, we'll think of so many other things we could be doing. And yet, on this first Sunday in Advent, I wonder if today or over the next couple of days, we could just slow the pace right down. To have that experience of waiting where perhaps we are just sitting. We're just trying to listen out to the things that are around us, where we're thinking about different people who share our lives, people who perhaps we've not seen for a little while, that longing and that waiting, as we sit, as we ponder, as we reflect. The Christmas story, at least the journey toward the celebration of Christmas, begins today for the church. Advent Sunday is traditionally the start of the church year. And as the church year unfolds before us, it tells the story of a journey. And every time there's a journey toward an event that is about to happen. We are waiting for the celebration of Christmas on the 25th of December. And each day as we journey forward, that event gets ever nearer. Now, as a child, or if you have a child in the house, or you may even yourself, we have children at home and we've got Advent calendars, and every day, beginning next Tuesday, they'll go to the calendar and they'll open up individual doors, and the time will tick down. They'll go 1, 2, 3, right the way through to that time when we can celebrate Christmas Day. The Bible has a verse in the New Testament in the book of Galatians. Paul, the writer of that particular book, offers these words. But when the right time finally came, God sent his own Son. He came as a son of a human mother under the Jewish law, to redeem those who are under the law, so that they may become children of God. When the time was right, God sent his Son. Not when we were ready, not when we thought, well, are we ready? Yes, no, well, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. But when God was ready, there was purpose. There was an act of love in God sending his Son to our world. And over the next couple of weeks, as we ready and prepare ourselves for that time, we get ready for a Saviour who comes to us. On this first Sunday in Advent, I have a small piece to read to you. As stars to the Maker, we are the work of God's hands. As plants to the gardener, we are the work of God's hands. As clay to the potter, we are the work of God's hands. Be brave, be honest, be awake to the message of God. Be strong, be gentle, be awake to the message of God. Be joyful, be humble, be awake to the message of God. Be steady, be hopeful, be awake to the message of God. God comes to us again and again. And over the coming days and over the coming weeks, as we prepare, as we get ourselves ready for another Advent season, I hope and I pray that together we may walk this journey in the knowledge of one another's love, in the knowledge of one another's care, in the knowledge that as we journey together, we are thinking, we are reflecting, we are considering the lives of those around us. And though we are distant, we are together. We are together in the knowledge of God's love. Our Advent journey begins.